Welcome to the Hands-On Art Ceramic Painting tutorial presented by Ambrosia. This is available in PDF format if it's easier for you to follow and will be available in the studio. Remember, this is also available in a set with the lemonade pitcher and the lime bowl, available in video tutorial as well. We will begin by tracing the image. Our image is a little bit smaller than the plate, so I chose to trace out the plate first. And then that way I can line up those edges pieces to the plate's edge as I'm going along and tracing. As you can see, I am kind of adjusting the under paper as I'm going along the edge, just so that the lemons are evenly placed throughout the paper. Once we get this image transferred over, we will actually be starting the plate on the back side with a fun design, and then we will be moving on to painting the front side. That fun design is actually the same design used for the lemonade pitcher, so pay attention to that for the next video. I like to cut out the tracing so that it's easier to place onto the plate. And before we begin anything, we do want to wipe down our surface with a wet sponge just to take off any dust. And then tape the tissue paper onto the plate just to make sure it doesn't move. And then we'll be tracing that with a Sharpie. And now we are ready to paint. So we'll be flipping it over and we'll be doing this kind of checkered design on the back side. So we'll be doing a full layer of white paint, actually 2 to 3 layers of white paint. And then we will go in with a yellow color to add in these stripes. We want to place these about 1 inch apart from each other. And we do want this section to be slightly translucent, so I'm not adding more than that 1 layer. And then wherever the colors intersect, as I'm putting the horizontal lines in, I'm filling in the areas that they overlap with another layer of that yellow paint. We're trying to create kind of a ribboning effect or like a fun picnic pattern on the back side here. So now I'm going in with a thinner brush and doing some more horizontal lines with that same yellow color. And then once we're happy with that base yellow, we can move on to our next orange color that we will be adding a thinner line in between some of those yellow lines. And this doesn't have to be perfectly straight, we're just getting that feeling of the checkered pattern. Once I'm happy with that orange, I'll move on to the blue color. Doing the same thing, wherever there's free space, I'm adding in another little blue line, making sure that they at least cross paths once. Now we're going in with the green. And for these accent colors, you can do 2 to 3 coats just to make sure that they really pop to contrast that yellow that's behind there. And that's our background, so we will move on to the front side. Now I started right away with a yellow, but I would recommend to go in first with that white color and do just the full background in white. That way you don't have to fill in the gaps after you've done the yellow. But either way works, whatever your preference is. Just make sure that you're putting 2 to 3 coats of every color. Now I'm going in with that white color, just kind of filling in all around. I'm not worried about the leaves because I'm just going to cover that up with the green anyways. Okay, now I have my background done, so I'm going to go in with the lighter green and fill in those leaves. And I did quite a few layers of this lighter green and then went over on top of it with the darker green. This next portion skipped over. You'll notice that we have some orange over the lemons there. You'll want to get the orange 75 and do a few orange strokes around the edges of the lemons just to give it a little bit more contrast and pop there. And you'll notice me adding in the darker green onto the leaves as discussed earlier. And for the lining, you can see here I am using the Fun Writer just to show you guys how it looks when you do use the Fun Writer. It can be a lot easier than using the fine tip brush, but it does take practice and it has a little bit of a different look slash texture to it. So that's up to you, you know, whatever your preference is, whether using the liner brush or the Fun Writer. Now I did begin lining before I was ready to. I was a little excited. We actually want to do the background area first with the water droplets. So let's go ahead and do that before we finish the rest of our lining. So I'm going in with that blue Yonder, number 11. And I'm dipping into the paint and then immediately brushing it off almost onto the plate with a little bit of a direction in mind. So if I wanted to swoop over, I'm lifting it up in that direction and just filling in all those empty spaces where the white was placed. And now we can continue to finish lining our piece. And you can use whichever color you'd like, but we used black 15. And it's always important to go slow and constantly be dipping your brush into new fresh paint. If it dries out or there isn't enough paint, it won't glide on as expected. And keep in mind that the entire thing doesn't need to be outlined. You can use your creativity and outline the areas that need most impact, like the outline, edges, maybe a few of the inner seeds. Yeah, it's up to you, whatever you feel like would look best. Okay, and there we have it. This is the final result, the front and the back side. And these are the results after firing. And don't forget to check out our other videos for the lime bowl tutorial and the lemonade pitcher tutorial. Have a great day.